Hi guys, welcome back. Well, guess what? I've been spending my money on eBay again. Some more bargains. First up, I bought this wood turning chisel. I don't know if this class is a roughing gouge or a ball gouge, but the shape of it is about the one chisel that I couldn't make myself out of all files or a square bar, so that's one I decided to buy. I think it's a Sorby and it's in good condition, quite a lot of life with it yet, so that's that one out of the way. Now, we're living in the UK, we're quite fortunate that there's always a good selection of old quality lathe tools available, and this lot came up. I'm always on the lookout for unusual lathe tools, and these were all bunched together. Let me get you through the most simplest ones first. That one takes a piece of HSS and it looks like somebody's had that as a internal threading bar with the angle that's been cut onto that, so that's probably the most simplest one. I've got recently I bought an internal threading bar that takes carbide inserts, but that can be a nice addition. Be a threading bar or just use a normal boring bar. This is an unusual one. I've not got one like this. This takes a triangular insert and carbide insert, and that's very handy for getting right into the corner of a shoulder. So as I say, I've not got one like that, so that's that one. There's a left-handed triangle insert tool holder. I may already have a couple of these, but that was bunched with it. This is a nice find. It's a very small boring bar. It's a Sandvik, but it came with this holder as well, which will fit onto my lathes, hopefully without the need of having to pack up the boring bar to bring it up to the correct height. So that's a nice find. Now, I've not seen these before. These are internal boring bars. They're adjustable for the depth with the main clamp. But the way these work, quite complicated. These take round HSS tools that slide into these holes. But first of all, this bar, this internal bar, slides into the main body. The round HSS then goes through these holes, and there's a clamping device on this side that screws in, and as you tighten this up, it pulls the internal bar inwards, which then clamps the cutting tool in position. Now, those will be very handy. As I say, they're adjustable. This one's a bit stiff at the moment. They're adjustable for the length, so a decent size, so those would not have been cheap to buy new. But what I'm going to concentrate on today, guys, is these tool holders. Now, when I looked at the picture on eBay, I wasn't sure if these had been shop made. And now that I've got them, there's a serial number stamped on them. So I think these have been commercially made. And you can fit, that one takes quarter and this one takes half-inch HSS. But there's three ways to mount the cutting tool in them. and it got me thinking, if I use these on the shaper, could I use it with 2 cutting tools at once? As it follows along, if I'm cutting this way, have a roughing tool on this side, and then followed on by a finishing tool on the opposite side. So it would be doing 2 cuts in one pass. Now, unfortunately, the shank on these is slightly too wide to go into my clapper box. Now, a lot of the lathe tools that I bought that I've used on the shaper, I've reduced the width of the shank so they do fit into the clapper box. And what I've found in the past is the shanks pretty soft material, so I've been able to take a skim up on the shaper itself. But what I've found with these is I've had these in the vise and tried to reduce the shank down, but these are hard material, and even with a carbide cutting tool on, it simply won't touch them. So to reduce the width of those, I'm going to put these on my surface grinder and take them down so they will fit into that. So that's going to be the first job. Yeah, surface grinder. Dirty machine, but it gets the job done. Well, these are the 2 half-inch cutting tools that I'm going to try with it. First of all, I'm just going to put this one in on this side, take a pass with that, see what finish that leaves, and then I'll do a second pass with the second cutting tool in. It's got a nice large radius on and quite a lot of relief at the back. I'm going to follow it up with this one on this side. The workpiece, it's a boring bar. It's not been hardened as steel, so I think these will cut it. But it'd be a good test to see how these work. So we'll try it with this one first, and then I'll put the 2 in. I suppose really the determining factor is whether the motor's big enough to send the ram down to do 2 cuts at once, but we'll see. Well, I'm at the point now, guys, where the first tool has made enough length of cut for the second tool to be past the beginning of this this workpiece. So I'm just going to bring it through. Now I know the depth of cut from the first cut, I'm going to put this finishing tool with the radius on slightly lower and see if the machine's capable of doing 2 cuts with 1 pass. finishing tool started to cut now. Not quite at the point where the first tool starts to bite. First tool's just started to cut now. See how the machine cuts. So far so good. I don't know if you can make that out, guys, but can you see the difference in the finish between the roughing tool and then the tool with the larger radius? There's probably, I've not measured it, probably at least 2 millimetre depth of cut with the second cutter. Roughly about the same on each one, but so far it's working well and it's leaving a nice finish. I'm going to stop it there, guys, and then you can see the three different levels that the tool's at now. You can make that out, guys. That's the original level before the first cutter went down, and then you can see the finish on the roughing pass, quite coarse, and then we followed on. I don't know if the depth of cut shows up on the camera there. It's around about 2 millimeters, and then the second tool has followed along with the radius. Does the finish show up on that? I think it does. So I think that's a success, guys. I was a bit worried with the amount of stick outs that we've got. There's a good, I should say 60 millimeters from the clapper box clamp to where the cutting tools are, but it doesn't seem to have made any difference to it. The clapper works fine, and I have got some carbide tip tools that are 1/2 inch that would go into this, so I think with having a shallower depth of cut with the finishing tool, I'm not sure, but maybe that leaves a finer surface finish rather than trying to go the full depth in one pass. But the machine scoped, I thought the motor might not be up to it, but it's not stalled at all. So I'm going to put this back in and carry it on the way through. And that's how the tools have been set up, guys. So this is a roughing cutter, and it's been followed up by this both HSS, but quite a large radius on this second one, and it's worked quite well. Thanks for watching, guys.